Hello YouTube, nicolinimagic here, and I'm going to be doing a review on Fallout New Vegas. If you see behind me right here-ish, in this area, I have the Collector's Edition of this game. Not going to be doing really any showing off of that, but if you would like to see some sort of video on that, like an in-depth, kind of like the Halo Reach Legendary Edition video, just leave a comment and I can try and get a video of that, because I do like doing in-depth videos on those collector's items, but I didn't really feel like there was any need to it. But I'm going to start off by saying Fallout New Vegas was a really good game, except, there's a big except here, and that is that if you have problems with glitches and don't really like Fallout, you're not going to like this game. You have to actually you have to have liked Fallout 3 to actually enjoy Fallout New Vegas, in my opinion, because it's basically Fallout 3 in a different setting. It's really, in my opinion, it's like it's worse in some areas but better in others. There's certainly more quests and things to do in Fallout New Vegas than there were in Fallout 3. However, the wasteland in this game is smaller, but I enjoyed it a lot. The first 6 or so levels of leveling up, not very fun, very boring, and the quests in Fallout New Vegas work a lot differently than they do in Fallout 3. But overall, I really would say, and I would really recommend this for if you like Fallout. I don't know, I'd say if you're going to start, if you haven't played Fallout 3 yet, I would play Fallout 3 before playing this, because it's a more complicated version, I would say. That is if you play hardcore mode. I guess if you don't play hardcore mode, it's it's about the same, except for a few more skills and stuff. But it's different than Fallout 3, and it's the same graphically and technically, but it's different in the sense that more quests, there's the skill and all the stuff you can do. There's a lot more stuff to do, I guess I should say, and just leave it at that. But I'm going to get into a video segment here of actually showing off Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, I actually also picked up the Fallout New Vegas game guide, Collector's Edition game guide. And I will do a quick, show off of this, because it's it's just a book. It's not going to take long. On the inside, there's a note there. On the inside, it says limited edition right there. And it's got a number. I thought that was pretty cool, because the actual collector's edition on mine didn't have a number, and I hate it when they don't do that in guides. But this guide, I would say, is worth picking up if you get, not necessarily the collector's edition, but at least get a Fallout New Vegas game guide when you get it, because I really like to be able to kind of see all the different possibilities, and that's probably the biggest difference with this game, is that in the end of this game, the ending, there's actually 4 different endings you can do, and that depends on who you team up with. And the thing I didn't like about it is that the campaign really isn't that long per se. It's not, I guess campaign, it's not really campaign. The story isn't that long, but there's multiple stories, and so it makes you want to go back and play a different route, I guess. But it's really cool. The thing I really liked was the addition of the campfire, reloading bench, and more stuff to do with the workbench, because Fallout 3 there really wasn't much to do with the workbench except for the 7 schematics that you had to find. In this game, it's like the workbench has a bunch of stuff you can make, the reloading bench has a bunch of stuff you can make, and the campfire has a bunch of stuff you can make, and I really thought that was cool and a neat addition. But I'm going to go ahead and get to the video part of this segment. Okay, so I'm back, and kind of compiled a Fallout New Vegas video here. Just kind of did the opening video. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the glitches now during this time. The 3 main glitches that I encountered on the PS3 were
the main one that happened quite often, and that was that the PS3 just stopped, froze completely, and this was very frustrating if I was out in the middle of the wasteland, hadn't auto-saved or saved in a while, and then all of a sudden frozen. I'd have to restart it, lose everything, and then restart it and go back to wherever my last save was. And then the other major glitch that was really annoying was during the loading screen, it just wouldn't load sometimes, and so I was very cautious. I'd get worried with loading screens too, and have to be overly cautious, and so yeah. And then the last glitch that I encountered that was kind of a major one, it happened only a couple times, but it was that the game would just completely slow down, and it became impossible to play. Yeah, so those are main things, but that opening scene there is probably the best looking thing in this game, which
War never changes.
I don't like when they do that.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
So the story of Fallout New Vegas is that you're a courier that's supposed to deliver the platinum chip for the Mojave Express, and you get caught by this guy named Benny, who takes you and then attempts to, as you will see, shoot you in the face.
Dig.
So I'll let you kind of watch this part
Made
here.
your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
And that's a really memorable opening. I really like that. Unfortunately, the game doesn't stay that exciting, and that's pretty much it for a while until later on when you get into the strip. But as you'll see, the opening of the game starts. Oh yeah, that loading screen there is pretty much what you'll see a lot in the game, and I don't think you should be able to. You should have to look at a loading screen that much. But the story here is that you wake up, you do the typical Fallout face models here, and in this game you actually have the Vitomatic instead of the special book to align your special skills. Same special skills as in Fallout 3. You take a test that's similar to the GOAT test, except there's only 3 different answers to the question this time, and that determines your tag skills. But like in Fallout, you can change your tag skills. And you basically start out in this town called Good Springs. Over the course of the game, you'll meet Mr. House, which is shown there, Caesar, which is shown there, Yes Man,
Hi again.
and then the last one, which is not a broader, it's a broader figure. It's the NCR, and that's kind of a bigger
So you're
group.
the
You don't
one
really
that's
have one person you're specifically working for during that. The 4 main people, though, Mr. House is kind of the economic guy that is all he cares about is money. Caesar is more the evil guy that's kind of a tyrant and just wants to rule it all. Yes Man is more of he wants everyone to get everything and be equal kind of thing. And the NCR is just doing what's best for their, I guess, the state of Nevada. As shown here, Pip-Boy navigation is pretty much the same. And really the only skill difference in Fallout New Vegas as opposed to Fallout 3 is the addition of the survival skill, which helps with your, as I mentioned earlier, the crafting locations. It lets you build more things, and it's a very handy skill, especially if you're playing on hardcore mode. Yeah, the game really didn't start for me until I reached the strip. Once I got to the strip, that's where it kind of all took off. That's where you really choose who you're going to go with. And once you choose who you're going to go with, you kind of get mini quests from there that all kind of parallel each other, but they're not quite the same. For instance, they may want you to go to some bunker. One person may want you to kill all the people in the bunker. However, another wants you to save them. that game there is slots. It's one of the 4 games that you can play in Fallout New Vegas. If you have a high luck, it's a great way to win chips, probably the fastest way. Although it only shows up in 2 of the casinos. And then the other game you see there is the roulette game, and that's a good way to win. If you have time, you can win a lot more than what you'd win in the slots machine. But you win less often, but faster when you do win. And then blackjack, I never really got into. It wasn't that fun. It was just kind of, it's blackjack, self-explanatory. Blackjack 21. Try not to go over 21. Try to have higher than the other bet.
Can I help you?
Typical thing. And then there's this other game that doesn't take place on the Strip, but it's actually called Caravan, and a lot of people had trouble with this game. I had trouble with it until I kind of just messed around with it and just kind of figured out a good strategy that worked for me. But this game was really hard to understand, but once you understand it, it's really pretty fun. And I've actually thought about trying to play it with someone in real life, because it's a pretty fun game. The rules are just very hard to understand. It's kind of shady as to what cards can be played on top of the other ones. But I kind of figured out a strategy that worked for me, and I ended up winning almost every time. But overall, Fallout New Vegas, I would definitely recommend it if you liked Fallout 3. If you loved Fallout 3, you have to get Fallout New Vegas. I'm sure they're going to come out with another patch that'll fix all the glitches I mentioned. But I would really pick up Fallout New Vegas as soon as possible, because it was a really fun game. I mean, despite those bugs, the boring quests at the beginning, once it picks up, if you can stick through it, it really was worth it in the end. And I had a lot of fun with it. There's just so much more. There's a lot more to do than there was in Fallout 3, and I think that says a lot for the game. And despite the glitches and things that happen, I really, really do think that this was a good game. And I can't wait to see what else comes from this game. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see subscribers very soon.